All right, I'm here with Sheriff Todd Purcell from the Sheriff's Department. My name is Peter Jaklovic. I'm the prosecuting attorney. We're here for a press conference to kind of update you folks on what's going on with the Kristin Spires case. Before I get into a lot of detail, a few disclaimers about what we can and can't talk about. Oftentimes in cases like this, there are certain details that we can and cannot give to you to protect the integrity of the investigation. We understand that you're going to have some questions for us. We're going to try to answer those that we can, but in order to protect the integrity of the investigation and follow my ethical rules, there are certain things that I'm not going to be able to answer, although I understand why you're going to be curious about certain things. Obviously, the investigation thus far has been a joint investigation by the Big Rapids Department of Public Safety and the Mecosta County Sheriff's Office. It would literally take a cart to wheel in all the files and paperwork that we've done in this case up until this point to try to find out, what happened to Kristin Spires and who's responsible for this, and to seek justice in this case, which has always been our goal. Since we last spoke, I've talked with the pathologist, Dr. Stephen Cole, and we've learned what the cause of death of Ms. Spires is. Ms. Spires, according to Dr. Cole, her death has been ruled a homicide. Ms. Spires, the cause of her death was a blunt force trauma to the head. We do not have a complete report from Dr. Cole at this time, although we expect one in the coming weeks. Today, as of this morning, myself and Sheriff Todd Purcell have filed additional charges in this case against Kiefer Stutzman. Mr. Stutzman has been charged with 2 counts of obstruction of justice. I have the charging document in front of me. What we're alleging, and you'll recall that Mr. Stutzman currently has charges of accessory after the fact of a felony. Essentially, we were alleging that Mr. Stutzman was involved in the cover-up and the hiding of Ms. Spires' body. We have dismissed that complaint, and we have filed new charges against Mr. Stutzman, those being 2 counts of obstruction of justice. The complaint reads that Mr. Stutzman did commit the crime of obstruction of justice by hampering or delaying the investigation of the death of Kristin Spires, by falsely claiming to police that he was present and witnessed the events leading to the death of Ms. Spires, when in fact Mr. Stutzman was in jail at the time of Ms. Spires' death, thus resulting in the police wasting time and resources pursuing Mr. Stutzman's false claims as well as delaying their investigation. The second count of obstruction of justice on Mr. Stutzman is that he did commit the crime of obstruction of justice by falsely implicating others as being responsible for the death of Kristin Spires by falsely claiming to police that he was present and witnessed which persons may have been responsible for Ms. Spires' death, when in fact Mr. Stutzman was in jail at the time of Ms. Spires' death. From the complaint, it should be apparent that Mr. Stutzman was one of the first persons to start giving us information and saying he was there at the time that Ms. Spires was killed at 109 Woodward in Big Rapids. He started the ball rolling. He started investigators to pursue a course of investigation that he knew at the time was clearly false. He lied to police. He led the police on a wild goose chase. And unfortunately, fortunately, we found out now, but unfortunately, we spent the time pursuing the leads that he gave us and pursuing the course of investigation, the path he led us down. And we're going to hold him accountable for wasting time and resources